Revelation 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. So there's some star that fell from heaven onto earth, and that star was given the key to the bottomless pit. I would say that that star could be Satan himself, because the scriptures do reference angels as stars, and it's obviously it's perhaps obvious to at least the way I feel that it's something that can take the key and open the bottomless pit, as it mentions. Well, in verse 2 it says, and he opened the bottomless pit. So it's obviously some, I hate to say someone, but something, some angel that God has given the key to open the bottomless pit. And arose out of that bottomless pit a lot of smoke. And then in verse 3 it says, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. So I noticed that it says there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. And if you think of locusts, when they swarm, there's a whole bunch, and they're out there just flying around to ravage and pillage. And so there was power given unto them as the scorpions of the earth have power, which that power is a stinging power, perhaps killing power. But it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth. So these locusts aren't regular locusts that eat the green stuff, because this is neither green things, trees, or any of that, but only to those men who do not have God's seal in their forehead. So these are not literally locusts. These are evil spirits from the bottomless pit that were released during this tribulation time to go about causing pain and anguish and perhaps killing. They just cannot. Well, hold on. I went ahead too soon. Verse 5, it says, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was a torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. So definitely, whatever these spirits are, whatever came out of this bottomless pit can kill, but God has not given them permission to kill, so they can't kill during this time, and they are just to torment for 5 months. And they will torment like a scorpion when it strikes a man. I don't know, burning, stinging, painful, whatever. It's torturous regardless of what it is, and however it goes for these people. Verse 6, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee them. So it seems to me to be pretty painful, pretty torturous, like it says, tormenting. It's got to be hell on earth, so to speak, for these people, to the point where they want to die. They want to commit suicide, but Apparently, God is not allowing that. I guess there's no death for these people. They can jump off of a building, they won't die. They can try to drown themselves, but they will float. However, that works. God will not allow death because they will seek death, but death will flee from them. Verse 7, and the shapes of the locust were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. So this is pretty scary description. What it all means, I can't say that I know for sure, but if it's literal, it's a combination of men's faces and crowns and the strong power of horses, the strong bite of a lion, uh, the protection of a breastplate of iron. Uh, they're loud and overwhelming sound of wings as the sounds of chariots with horses running in battle. Their tails sting and hurt men. I mean, that's pretty tough. That's pretty pretty bad for people to have to suffer through. And one point is to understand that how terrible this is for people, and that yet there are still people that will not choose God. Why? Because they just hate God, because they just love their flesh, because by this time they all have reprobate minds. I would say it's a combination of all that swarming around somewhere, because it makes absolutely no sense to you and us, you and I, that as we read through Revelations, there are still people going through the tribulation that do not accept God. Odd, right, to say the least. Let's see. Uh, we're at verse 11, and it says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. We could probably look up the meaning of those names. I don't know offhand, and since I'm just doing this real quick, I don't want to stop and go try to figure it out, but that definitely can be done. And the odd point that it says, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit. A regular swarm of locusts don't have a king. They just all do what they do, swarm and eat and devour. So interesting note that these have a king, which indicates to me that Abaddon or Apollyon uh, he's the one with the key, opened up the bottomless pit, and he is their king. I can't say that Abaddon or Apollyon, if I'm saying it right, is Satan himself. I would think not, because these seem to be new names, and you know, why not mention Satan or Lucifer? Could be, but I'm leaning towards not, because of other little factors that I've noticed, and you know, even in reading through Revelations, Satan has been mentioned. But anyway, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had a trumpet, Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men. So these angels, they had been preparing for that amount of time and waiting to slay 1/3 of the men on earth. Verse 6, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Now, if this is literally literal, then, I mean, man, these horses with these faces of heads of lions and fire-breathing horses, and I'm not going to say men, angels or demons sitting on them, floating around, riding around, torturing people. Again, I can't understand why anybody would want to go through this and not submit to God. But I guess men can be men, evil as all evil can be, and that's just a choice that people make. Verse 18, by these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of their works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold, silver, and brass, stone, and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts. I I am at a loss for words. It's just truly mind-blowing, amazing that man would not repent at this point of the things, the evil and the things of their fleshly desires. I don't understand. Anyway, God bless. Thanks